Heck yeah, song gets me every time. Rock out. Well, it's been a minute since the last podcast. Been going through some things, so I'll touch on that because that's what this is for, to share my experience, strength, and hope with others. A little AA for you right off the go. Just so I don't forget, plug a few things. There's a website now. It's still in its infant stages. There's a lot of information that needs to be added. Also, before I forget, a little shout out, this wonderful logo here behind me. Let me shut the video off for a second. This logo was made by one Micah Rocha, and he did an excellent freaking job. I actually paid some money to have somebody else do some of the other logos that you might have seen floating around on Facebook and whatnot, and they were pretty good. But this logo fits me big time. So shout out to Mike and his creativity. Give him a look if you're looking to get some logos done. So website, thesoberheathen.com. It's up. It's not done, but there's some info there. You can find me, the Sober Heathen channel at YouTube. You can find me, just Google the Sober Heathen on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. One thing I'd like to throw out there too, I got a Gofundme. You can find that again on any of the pages, or go to Gofundme and search the Sober Heathen. I put a $500 goal on there, about a fifth of the way through right now. And, some things that I thought about when I did this, I'm like, how many times have I asked for money from friends in my addiction for something that it wasn't there for? So, that people that have any experience with addicts, it's like, okay, what is this money for? Is this really for something? So with that understanding that I have, that's why I set the goal of only $500. And anybody with some healthy skepticism of donating to an addict, I totally understand. So the meat and potatoes of the fundraiser itself is to give some donations to some of the treatment centers that I've been in. And also I'm looking for any feedback from anybody that has been through treatment and had a really good experience. I think that you will understand what I'm trying to do. There is nothing like you go into treatment, you take a duffel bag or two, maybe. You have really nothing. And some people that come into treatment don't have anything to bring anyway, coming straight from jail or off the street. You're there to try to focus on the problems that you're having in your life to stop the addiction. Okay, because I agree with the big book. The big book says that the problem is in our thinking. That for me, being an alcoholic, alcohol is but a symptom of a bigger problem. And that problem is my thinking. So you want to be able to focus that thinking and utilize every second of the day that you're there. You're not worried about, and these are things that I worry about. I'm not saying everybody does, but I could understand if people do. If you're wearing the same clothes 2-3 times a week, there's washers there. There's dryers there that you can use at most places, but you're still wearing the same stuff. Okay, so having a nice shirt or a new shirt to put on, it doesn't even have to be nice, man. Socks, underwear, toothpaste, toothbrushes, some decent shampoo and conditioner could make all the difference. Right now, also, any of the addiction books that are out there are really good. I have a couple big books. I got a stack of the 12 traditions, the 12 steps and 12 traditions, 12 and 12 as they call it in AA. I got some 24-hour books, which are sayings that you can read for every day of the year. Really good. I got some clothes that I'm going to donate. With the donations that have come in so far with Gofundme, I got a pair of 24 hats and gloves because it's freezing cold up north where the treatment centers are. I'm going to be taking this stuff. So 24 people will have a hat and some gloves to wear because part of staying there, you got to shovel and you got to be outside and help the treatment center out. That's kind of what they do. So I'm not just giving this to the male side. I should make that point clear too. I'm not just giving it to the men at these places. I want it distributed evenly on the women's side too. So anything that's unisex, like the hat and gloves, it's going to be split. Obviously, I'm not going to give things that I might get myself in trouble here in the podcast already. But things that would typically be for male, I'm going to give to the males, and the things that and I'm not going to give dresses to the male side. If they want a dress, that's totally cool and fine with me. I don't judge, but get your own dress. I'm just going to be my ignorant self and assume that the women are going to wear the dresses. Anyway, I've dug enough holes in my life. I can shut up now on that one. So yeah, any kind of clothing that you got sitting around, shoes, boots, the plan is middle of December to take this stuff up to Harbor Hall and Bear River. Those are two places that are near and dear to my heart. I can't say enough about both of those places. I really can't. The people, the programs, they're amazing. They do great things. And if you're looking to go to treatment, just a little plug, man, you're not going to go hungry at either place, especially Bear River. But the food, Chris, the cook at Harbor Hall, and the cooks at Bear River do a fantastic job. It is not jail food. It is good food. If you need to put on weight, you will accomplish that very easily at both places. I just want to give back a little bit of what was given to me. So fundraiser, my contact information is everywhere, but you can get a hold of me at scott@thesoberheathen.com. That's through the website, or thesoberheathen@yahoo.com, either one. If you have anything, I'll make sure it gets picked up, or I can give you my address again, like the middle of December. I want a little bit of an early Christmas present to give to these guys and these gals that are fighting for their lives like I was. I think it's going back to it, backpacks. Man, I tell you what, found a backpack at a thrift store that was right down the road from Harbor Hall. And Harbor Hall gives you a ton of information, man. They give you the big book. They give you the 12 and 12. They give you the 24 hours. They give you, or no, they don't give you the 24 hours. They give you Came to Believe. And I feel like I'm missing one, but they give you a ton of books when you check into Harbor Hall. They give you notepads. So there's a lot of stuff to carry around from lecture to lecture to group and all these things. And they want you to have all that stuff. So a little duffel bag, one of the drawstring backpacks even work. I mean, just to take those little things and that we addicts worry about. And I know it's so weird. It's like, you've done all these things to you. Person on the outside may not understand. And you've done all these things to the family. You didn't care about that. You didn't care about paying your bills. You didn't care about this. And now you need a backpack. You need fresh socks every day. Yeah. We go to treatment. Some people are forced to go to treatment. I get that. And hopefully when I can make this a donation, that I can put my 2 cents in, fully aware that clothing items and things like this can quickly become currency in a treatment center. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm hoping that the techs that I communicate with can help direct these things to the people that really need it and keep it from becoming a currency. Both places do a really good job of trying to make sure that doesn't happen. They try to keep it fair for everybody. They do the best they can, but we're addicts and we're human. And some people don't want to do something for nothing or give something for nothing. And I'm trying to give back because of what I received. So if you are willing to help out, bless you. And if not, that's okay too. Just listen to the program, and hopefully maybe you'll hear something that you can take to somebody else, a little bit of understanding, standing of the addiction. Knowledge is power. So also a website. I've got Harbor Hall, Bear River, and 1016, which is a place here in Midland County, the county that I live in. If you've been to a place and you want to give it a shout out, if you know somebody there that would give the okay. I mean, I can't imagine a treatment center would be upset of being plugged onto another website to help people, but it's always good to ask for permission, as opposed to addictive thinking of ask for forgiveness than for permission. Let's see. So again, I understand the monetary side of it. Skepticism that may be, but either one are open. If you don't know what to get, I'm going to post. I have posted on the Facebook page a list of things. These places do a good job for the women and men for the hygiene products. They do a pretty good job at that. But you're getting the trial size shampoos, the sample size conditioners or whatever. Again, there's a saying that we used in baseball growing up: if you look good, you play good. You tuck your shirt in, you have your hat on straight, you have your shoes tied, you have your pants the way that you should have them. You don't have one sock hanging out or whatever. You look good, you learn good. You can feel good about yourself. You're going to be more apt to listen and put in that little bit of extra. If you're sitting here worried because you don't have deodorant, and some people are just afraid to ask. I used to be one of those people, and you know what? To be fair, I still am. I'm working on that. There are things that I need and help that I need that I'm afraid to ask because I fear rejection. That's a character flaw that I'm really working on. So being able to just come into class and not worried if you stink, or you're not having to worry about wearing the same shirt for the third time in a week. I mean, it can make a difference. So if you can help, thank you very much. If you're willing to help, thank you very much. If you want to learn more, keep listening, and maybe you'll decide that it's a good idea to help in the future. No pressure. I appreciate everybody that's contributed so far. So as far as myself, I said I would talk a little bit about what's going on with myself. I got my sentencing done in one county. Spent a month in jail. I did a podcast about that. Shared some stories, some interesting stories of things that happened. Met some interesting people. Still have this sentencing thing hanging over my head from the OWI that I got right in the middle of COVID of August of 2020. That's at the sentencing portion. Turns out that sentencing apparently happened on the 28th of this month. I found out by somebody sending me a text and asked me what happened, and they found it on the website that it was supposed to happen that day. And I was like, what are you talking about? And come to find out, that's what the website said. I emailed my lawyer. I didn't hear back until today, late today. They're going to look into it. I never got anything in the mail like I normally did. So it's been rough sleeping. I put a lot of work in those 2 years, well, over 2 years now. I put a lot of work into my sobriety. I haven't not been perfect, obviously, but I've put in the work. I haven't been sitting idle. So there could be a major setback there. I could disappear for some time again. And if that's what it is, I have to hold on to the thought process of this is the beginning of the end. Get through all this shit, this court shit. And I say shit because the one county that put me in jail for a month, yeah, they needed me to do an alcohol assessment. And so I got that done and I sent it in. And they want me to, I give 1 week to figure out where to go for outpatient. Well, that's get to outpatient without a license and find outpatient that's going to take my taxpayer funded insurance, which I have right now because I've spent the entire year in treatment trying to fix myself, no job. These people, they deal with assholes all the time. They deal with con men all the time. That's, we get really good at finding ways to lie and addiction to get money and to get by and get out of things so we can continue to drink or use. That's the bottom line. We get really good at that. And if we could use that power for good, we'd be dangerous. And that's what I'm hoping to do now. I'm trying to change it to good. So anyway, hopefully my lawyer will be able to find something out. Hopefully there's not like a warrant for me missing it. What I'm praying to the gods for is that he wasn't there and I wasn't there and I get rescheduled or something. That would be best case scenario so that I would have an opportunity to be in front of the judge and the prosecution and state my case and put this nightmare in the back burner for good. I don't believe everything happens for a reason. And that's a whole nother podcast, because there's a lot of shitty things that happen to people, to good people, that I can't see reasoning for it. But I think things do happen, and we can learn from everything that happens. And it took me to keep, every rock bottom that I hit, it could have been rock bottom, but I kept digging. And then I would hit another fake rock bottom and dig some more and dig some more. And it took everything that happened to get where I am today, feeling pretty good. I even finding out this information about missing the court date, drinking hasn't entered into my mind, but I need to insert an important word there, yet. I am not magically cured, because I went another 32 days in treatment after the first 218 and get into trouble again. The big book does use the words recovered and solve the drink problem. They use that quite a bit. So at some point, maybe I'll be able to say more affirming words of I'm done. This is it. I never have to drink again. But I'm being as honest as I can with myself that I'm not there yet. So it's going to come knocking. You don't spend 20 years of your life trying to solve all your problems with more drinking, just to have it all turn around in 1 year. Maybe it happens to some people. I have heard stories of people that just said, I'm done, and they're done. So not for me. I know it's coming, and I need to be prepared. And doing things like this and having people listen to it is a good motivating thing. If I can say one word to help somebody somewhere, man, that's good enough for me. This is good therapy for me right now to be doing this. I was going to add in on this podcast, I was going to continue the steps explanation, but I think, without paying attention to what time I started, I don't want to turn this into like a hour and a half thing. But I do want to announce that once I know what's going on with this court and I'm not going back to the pokey, I have two people that are very interested in coming on, being guests and telling their story. And I'm super excited for the fact that one is in recovery from substance abuse, and the other is somebody that lived with somebody that had that. And all these podcasts and AA, they're always focused on, the speakers are always people from addiction and how we did it, where we were, how we did it, and where we are now. That's awesome. I love them. Those are my favorite meetings. I'm not saying negative about that at all. But I know that they have the Al-Anon side in the AA program for those who aren't in addiction but have loved ones in active addiction or in recovery, and they're still trying to recover themselves. I think the best option is to blend the two. So to have somebody come on and give their side of the story of what it was like to be with somebody in addiction, so that the people that listen that aren't in addiction, they can get, maybe they have somebody they care about, can get that side. That'll give me opportunities to ask them some questions, as coming from somebody that was a substance abuser. I'm trying to use the technical terms. SAD is the acronym that is used, substance abuse disorder. I'm trying to use these acronyms to be professional. Signed up for college. I'm going to go into social work and have that add into my recovery coach certification, because I want to continue to do this, not just on here, but as a profession. Even if I make squadouche for money, maybe I can help somebody else out where they become, rich in all things, not just monetary reasons, and that'd be good enough for me. But anyway, I digress again. It is very important to hear both sides. It is very important to hear what it's like to live with somebody like that, and it's very important to hear what it's like to live with this. So the first guest that I'm planning on having, her name is Laura. She's one of the nicest people. I haven't known her all that long. It's been a couple years now, on and off through my ex-fiance. She's a great woman. She's doing a lot of great things, and I'm really excited to have her tell her side of it, to have some back and forth a little bit, allow her to ask me questions, and then I'll ask her questions on where she's at, and then things like that. I think it's going to be fantastic, man. I'm super geeked for it. And then the second one is going to be a relative of mine, a cousin. She's in recovery. She's doing a fantastic job. She's a mother, a kick-ass mother, doing great things. She has a lot of great comments on the things that I post on Facebook. So I don't know a lot of her story. I know that she knows what she's talking about, and I know that she's practicing good things because of her posts and responses. So I know she gets it, and she's going to say something that is going to help somebody. And the fact that the first two guests are going to be females, man, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Because, they're not everybody that's in it. You get this. When I first went to treatment at Harbor Hall the first time, and the women started piling in, I was like, whoa. There's only like 10 of them. I was like, whoa, there's that many people, that many men or women struggling with addiction. I kind of had this thing that it was mostly men, but it's not. This thing does not. It doesn't have. Drawing a blank here. It includes everybody. It doesn't. It doesn't pick and choose who it goes after. It's not just the poor people. It's not just the single people. It's the parents. It's rich people. It's everybody. Discriminate. Yeah, whoever said it out loud while you're listening to it, I just heard you. Discriminate. This disease does not discriminate. It goes after everybody, and it will lay in dormant. I had so many stories, so many sad stories of people with sobriety for 15 years, and bam, something happens and it gets you. So, the fact that I had 5 months and I went back out, I'm not excusing myself. I'm not like, well, it's okay. I'm not doing that. But it just shows that even after 15 years of sobriety, things can still turn into a shit show real quick if you're not keeping that foundation and that community, that connection that is the opposite of addiction. You got to keep that connection to survive. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. If you know somebody or you're somebody that would like to come on, and I'm even willing to have somebody that has been through it with somebody else. And you might hear some of the podcast and you might be thinking, oh, well, you're just going way too soft. This is bullshit. You do have a choice. I mean, even if you think that way, man, send me an email. If you're willing to come on and you want to talk about it, you can. Probably has some good points. Or maybe just need a little more understanding. I know that it's way easier to talk to somebody else than it is your loved one sometimes, because sometimes your loved one is not receptive to the questions that you're asking. They'll just get irritated and take off. They'll get irritated and go away, lock themselves in a bedroom or basement. So ask those questions if you have them. Send an email, send a message on Facebook, Twitter. I'll gladly address any questions you have to the best of my ability. And if I don't have a good answer for it, I will ask my friends who will remain anonymous, but I will ask them for their thoughts on it. I have great people that are fighting for their lives. Some have been having many, many days of victories, and some not so much. But their views are important too. You look at the big book and AA and how big that is, and how the court systems want to send everybody to AA, which is good. There are other pathways, but obviously AA is working for a lot of people, or they wouldn't do that. The co-founder of it, but the main guy of it, Bill W., he was taking the message 3 weeks into his what ended up being his recovery, his full-time recovery. 3 weeks, that's it. And he was taking the message to other people and helping other people recover. So if Bill W. can do it in 3 weeks, I got 80 days sober today. And these people that I know that have years and years and years of sobriety, they have good information too. So really appreciate everybody listening. Check on the interwebs for updates where I am at. I will try to post, and if I got to go spend some more time in a cage, I've spent 20 years locked in this cage of blood and bone. I can handle it because this is finally, as I said before, it's finally the beginning of the end. And I can feel things that I haven't felt before. A certain confidence, not cockiness, certain relief, really. It's probably a good word for it. Like, man, you don't have to do this anymore. And just got to prove it to people now. That's number one. Wake up, go to bed sober, wake up sober, do everything I can to make myself feel accomplished, to build a life that I don't want to give up to alcohol again. And the rest will take care of itself. It's already the promises on page 85 of the big book. Read them at the bottom of the page. They come true, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. So I believe it 100%. So I really want to thank everybody for listening. Check out the website, check out the social media pages if you would, if you're willing to, if you got a bunch of clothes or things that you have sitting around. Maybe you're one of those people that have overstock of shampoo and conditioner. I don't know. Could be people out there. Let me know, and we can make some people's lives that are going to be in treatment for Christmas, away from their families, friends, and other loved ones. We can make a difference, make their holiday a little bit better, make their treatment stay a little easier, and hope that for every little thing that we do, we can help one person at least this much. And that, you never know, that little bit of reach might get them to the next step, heading to recovery. So thank you all for listening. I love you all. We'll see you next time. Find the button. Bye.